The topic of this video is multiple representations. Make sure that you're taking notes as you watch the video. The notes are located under week 5 and it is part 2 notes. Whenever you open as a Kami, make sure you click on January 19, which is going to take you straight to this slide. Practice representing linear relationships in multiple ways with the following example. Use the representation you are given to help you fill in the others. A pest control company charges $2.50 per cubic inch of pesticides used, plus a service fee of $75 for the treatment. Whenever we're writing the equation, the standard form to write the equation is y equals mx plus b, where b is your y-intercept and m is your constant rate of change. In the equation, your constant rate of change is attached to your variable. In this case, 2.5 per cubic inch is telling you that $2.50 is your constant rate of change, and then we need to add the 75 cents treatment fee. So your equation is going to be y equals 2.5x plus 75. Whenever we complete the process table, this is your x value, is representing the cubic inches, and your y value is representing the total cost. So whenever we do the process table, we're going to use the equation that we already have, which is 2.50x plus the 75p. And I'm going to take the numbers that they give me instead of inches and replace it instead of the x in order to get the total cost. So for 25 cubic inches of pesticide, the total cost is going to be 137 with 50 cents. For 50, it's going to be, for 75, it's going to be $200, and so on. Whenever you create your table, make sure that you complete the table and then go and create your graph. Here are your order pairs. 25 goes with 137. 50 goes with 200. Make sure that you label your x-axis as cubic inches. And you label your y-axis as total cost. You also need to write the intervals. The intervals that you can write in there are the same ones that are given to you. So 25, 75, 50, 75, and so on. And for your y-axis also. That way you have them just exactly as you want them. And then you're gonna place your dots in there and create your straight line. And then now you're gonna answer those questions. Explain how you found the order pair. By multiply the number of cubic inches of pesticide by $2.50 and then add 75. What is the rate of change in the graph and what does it represent? $2.50. If you go back here, the $2.50 is representing your rate of change. What is it representing? The price per cubic inch. That's what you're going to write in there. The y-intercept is root 75 and it represents the pest control treatment, and it is given here, and it tells you what it is in your verbal description also. What does the order pair represent? This is your x-axis, your y-axis. Go back to your table, look at your labels, and write it down. And for the price of $225, if we keep completing the table, we are going to end up getting 285 whenever we have 300 cubic inches. In order to do the next one, we have an equation. We need to write a verbal description that matches. So Joey has $150 in his savings account. He spends $10 per week to go to the arcade. So at week 0, how much money is he going to have in his account balance? Is going to be $150. After 1 week, he's going to have $140, which means I am taking this equation and replacing the number of weeks instead of x in order to get the total cost. I'm going to multiply first order of operations. 10 times 1 is 10. So I have 150 minus 10 is 140. 10 times 2 is 20. So I have 150 minus 20 is 130. And then you're going to go to your graph. Create your intervals. Make sure that you label your graph. Your x-axis represents the number of weeks. And your y-axis represent the account balance. And we're talking about money. After you label it, you have your x value, you have your y value. When x equals 0, y equals 150. When x equals 1, y equals 140. And make sure you connect and create your line. For your next example, they're giving you the table. You have to find the equation, and then you have to graph it and write a verbal description. In this case, I don't have anything but my x and y values. And before we learn that the constant rate of change, which is k, the constant of proportionality, equals y divided by x. So in this case, if I do y, which is 250 divided by 2, I'm going to get y equals kx. If I do $2.50 divided by 2, I will get $1.25. Which means my k is $1.25. So k equals $1.25. So now I'm able to do y equals $1.25x, and that's my equation. Now I'm going to use that equation and do my process table. 125 times 2 is 250, and so on. In order to write my verbal description, I know that I have number of cookies and that I have total cost. So my verbal description will look like this. Each cookie at Betty's Bakery costs $1.25. After you're done with your verbal description, your equation, and your table, then you're going to go ahead and do your graph. When x is 2, y equals 250. When x is 5, y equals 10 and 25. 6.25. When x is 8, y equals 10. The next thing that you need to do is to go do your 6.6 Go formative. Make sure that you answer it first in your Kami notes and then go input it into your Go formative. That is going to make it a lot easier for you.